Hey there, everybody! Pop on top here. Welcome back to some more Fallout New Vegas. This is episode number 14 already. That red little pip is still over there. We're doing the Old World Blues DLC now. Technically, you're supposed to interact with this, and you're going to get your brain stolen. We'll get into that in a little bit. We can't right now because it's a midnight showing, so we have to make sure it's like closest to midnight. So I guess we'll do like 11 hours. It'll be like 11:56. It'll probably be close enough. Have to go at nighttime. It's just the conditions. This is how you have to start the DLC. It's not that complicated. This is going to be a lot of talking this episode. A lot of me listening. The thing is playing, though. Fucking nice little eyeball there. Let's touch it, though. So, the crash satellite seems to be the source of the strange transmission you received. Old World Blues is recommended for experience curves, level 15 plus. I'm 20, so I made sure to get extra levels. I was going to do this right after the Honest Hearts DLC, but I waited a little bit. We got a lot of those quests done. We did the boomers all last time. Got a lot of XP. You have a premonition that you'll likely be unable to return to the Mojave until you solve the mysteries of the Big Empty. You'll be able to take anything you carry with you, and you will be able to return to the Big Empty anytime after completing Old World Blues. Unlike the Honest Hearts DLC, where you had to go to the Honest Hearts and then you couldn't come back to Zion after you leave. If you're up to the challenge and you have all you want to carry with you, examine the satellite a little closer. The atomic wonders of science awaits. And my character is a very science character. It's a very DLC just perfectly made for them. Take a closer look at the satellite. We're getting abducted. Or unlocked or whatever way you want to think about it. Fallout New Vegas. Old World Blues. The second best DLC. It's got some things about it that make it the best DLC. But
in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. Scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. They sought to create a new world, fueled by technology for the benefit of all mankind. Sonic emitters, space-age alloys, DNA hybridization, force field particle research, autodoc advances in cranial, cardiac, and trauma surgery. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain.
They're making the crazy shit.
The nucleus of this research was the Dome. A huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man.
Every science.
It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. The Great War brought a new energy to Big Mountain and its scientists. Although sheltered from the front lines, the scientists waged their own war, fighting their battles at the atomic level. Equations and calculations marched endlessly across chalkboards and computer terminals toward one solution: winning the war. For years, the minds and computers of Big Mountain were a blaze of trajectories, weapon schematics, and nuclear theories. The problems began to outpace the solutions, first geometrically, then exponentially. As the war escalated, so did the questions. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind. And the great stone in the middle of the Big Empty lay untouched, filled with countless technological wonders. Wonders that, in the end, had been answers to the wrong question.
So, they're doing science. The war happened, and then they're still doing science. You feel strangely heavier. A quick inspection of your body reveals faint physical scars around your head, chest, and back. We don't really know why yet. Welcome to the Big Empty. Quest added. Patient gown equipped. We are currently... They took our armor. Not my rebreather. On my hat, though. But here I am. Patient gown equipped. Right. Oh, there's a crash! You guys, I've never I had it crash here before. The console version is the most stable version of the game. I'll see you guys when we get back here. Just don't go in third person. All right, we have the game loaded back up. I had to watch the whole cutscene again. We're just gonna go in the sync, okay? We're not looking. We're not third personing. We're in the sync. This is our home base here in the Old Blues DLC. Has some very interesting things. The Central Intelligence Unit is here. Nothing going on as of right now. So we can't even go to Big Mountain. It requires a key. We have to go to the think tank. We're going to learn about all the scientists here. Strange feeling of pacifism comes over you, and you find you cannot draw your weapon for some reason. So, no hostilities allowed here, even though that Q-35 matter modulator on my back. Hello, scientist at Big Mountain.
I thought I heard the pacification field kick in. All right, shh. Nobody move. I'll handle this. Be warned, intruder. You are in the presence of the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. The collective geniuses of... We... By Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob? Who was it? Was it you, 8?
He can't speak.
Oh, Dr. O, was it? Likely story. O couldn't spark 2 neurons if they were in a lattice of biomed gel.
What? Me? Breaking news, Klein. It wasn't me, all right? I'm the robotical engineer. 8 is sound waves. That's his specialty. You always do this. You always demean me in front of guests. And it's not O, all right? It's...
Enough! Either of you do it again, it'll be the last time. Now... Great. Now I forgot what I was saying.
They're not
What
very
was I
smart for
talking
being
about?
geniuses. So that we're going to gain some personality traits of all these things. Dr. Klein is the lead scientist here. We have Dr. 8, who was the specialist in sound waves. And then Dr. O, as they call him, who's not O, but we'll get into that little... how are you all speaking through that one voice box?
Did it just say something? Anyone catch that? Boros, you work with animals. Translate. It's a lobotomite. Here, in the dome. Oh, as if this situation couldn't get any worse. Now we've got lobotomites. Dalla, get the spray before it excretes all over everything.
Lobotomite? That means it took our brain.
Dr. Klein, if my hypothesis is correct, this lobotomite is the repository of the brain we sent the signal to, the skinvelope once containing it. If so, it's proof that there may indeed be something beyond the crater. Just look at it. The way it blinks. It's like a big, hairless teddy bear.
I know what it is, Dollar. I want to know why it's down here. With its limbs all over everything. And are those penises I see wriggling on its feet?
No, those are toes. They don't even know what toes are
I
anymore.
believe those are toes, Dr. Klein. Little teddy bear toes. Penises are much larger than those tiny extremities. Not that I would know.
I don't recall the human penis ever being that large.
It depends on one's own frame of reference, Dr. O. Look at its little nose with its 2 orifices for ingesting oxygen.
Noses? Why, the great static. These lobotomites confound me with their sheer number of useless extremities.
So, we could do different things depending on whether we use science or speech. Or not, if you don't have either of those skills. We're going to use science. It's a science fucking DLC, right? So, we're going to hold up one finger, point at myself, point at them, and then hold up 5 fingers. There's one of me, five of you.
Now it's holding up an array of fully erect hand penises. If it tries to insert them, activate vivisectors. Dr. Klein, wait. I don't believe those gestures were random. Random at all. It's been following our conversation. The lobotomite understands us.
I agree with Boros's histrionic findings. This little lobotomite is unusually attentive for something whose brain has been extracted.
Nonsense. Lobotomites can't comprehend us.
8, have you been in the mentats again? If we slow down our oral processoreceptors to understand this excretion, we'll all be rendered ignorant.
All of you, power down, shut up, and let me prove once and for all how wrong you all are. As usual. Lobotomite, do you understand me? Can you speak?
So, we can speak, even though they did take our brain. We are a lobotomite. We have no brain right now. It's a weird set of vibes. The courier is just that badass, just fueled by angry. Also, these scientists don't get along very well. Obviously, as you see, they're arguing. We're learning all of this stuff about them in small little measures, but yes, I can understand you. I'm guessing that crash satellite in the Mojave was yours.
Those were words, weren't they? In the form of questions. It's asking me questions. Is this some kind of trick? Our efforts have turned against us. In playing God, we created a monster.
Perhaps as we were ruthlessly lobotomizing it with our cutters, we filled this skin envelope with awareness. A teddy bear with new stuffing.
Wait. If what you're theorizing is this lobotomite understands us, can reason with us,
then this may be just the answer we've been looking for. At last, a chance to... Dr. Klein, a transmission from the Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone. What's
Coming
this sci-fi
right
shit? I love it
at
so
us.
much.
It can only be...
If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. Big fools, all of you. It is I, Dr. Mobius, transmitting from my dome-shaped dome in the Forbidden Zone. A zone that is, yes, forbidden to you.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Even now, my deadly robo-scorpions swarm across Big Mountain with their pincers and pointy laser tails. Soon, all science will be mine. Even the technology sealed in the Big Mountain research centers cannot save you. So cower in your think tank. Wait for the end. That's all. Goodbye.
Mobius. Always the same broadcast. He's clearly mad, driven insane by his flawed and imprecise kindergarten-level research methodology.
what are we going to do? There's no way we can breach the Forbidden Zone. There's those robot scorpions everywhere.
The Forbidden Zone, where no brain has ever entered, nor ever returned.
Except Dr. Mobius and the technologies that could save us. They are out of our reach.
And Dr. Mobius mocks us. Did you see his cracked monitor? He's clearly let himself go.
What? Ask the lobotomite for help? Abe, I think you need the fluid levels in your logic assist pumps checked.
If this lobotomite responded, Dr. Klein, then it is clearly intelligent, perhaps even displays heretofore unknown levels of helpfulness.
But what of its brain? We scooped that out. We don't even know where we left it. And for putting it back in, none of us have the knowledge.
Yes, but it's still aware and responsive. Look at it. It's regarding us even now, with its big teddy bear eyes. If we ask it politely, and leave the part about the unnecessary, ruthless lobotomizing out, it might be favorably disposed to us.
You guys removed my brain?
We removed your brain, yes. So soft, barely wrinkled, yet so flush with knowledge and experience. Brain extraction technology has been standard practice at Big Mountain
They
for
remove
a
everybody's
measurable
brain.
amount of time.
Once the brain was out, then came the coils. The Tesla coils. The coils of Nikola Tesla.
Brainless perk. Your brain has been replaced with advanced technologies. Your head can no longer be crippled. Very cool. And it's resistant to Kim addiction, plus 25% resistance. And shock and bodily damage, plus 5% damage threshold minimum of plus 1. Sick.
Yeah, ain't no need to brag. Wherever your brain is, it's transmitting thoughts to you through the,
The Tesla coils in its head.
This is fortunate in many respects. If your brain was anywhere in the dome, why, you could access your aggression centers.
Circumventing the pacification field. This is a no-no. We have never been in a fight. We do not want that. Reminds me of my days in American High. And Richie Marcus.
Oh, we're gonna get to all that stuff. But I heard all over. I'm not gonna say, but I heard all over. I was trying to get that medicine skill up for some of these skill checks, but it's fine. How much surgery did you do on me? I feel like a badly put together jigsaw puzzle.
That is my responsibility. Although in truth, the autodoc had done most of the work already. Quite industrious, almost cut into all my investigations. Once it had removed the brain and I misplaced it, other organs began to cry for direction, using your nerves as telegraph wires. Rather than let them send their signals, I removed them as well. Shh, little organs. Go to sleep in your tanks. Dala loves you.
First was the heart.
So we got the Heartless perk, but when I first played this DLC, I was a much younger person. It's creeped the fuck out of me. It's like terrifying that these like scientists just took all your shit, and the way they talk about things is creepy. But the Heartless perk, the scars on your chest seem to confirm what the think tank is saying. You cannot be poisoned, and filters in your artificial blood pump will regulate bleeding and healing, allowing all healing items, chems, to function at a higher level, plus 25%. Robots are not confused by you, and 50% less likely to score a critical hit. Plus, with the bonus of wearing light armor, that's up to 75% less likely to score a critical hit. We don't get critted very much. But because we're wearing light armor, we just take more damage when we generally get hit anyway.
Oh, wait, I mean, second was the heart. Brain was first. Third was the spine.
The spine. Spineless perk. Due to complications with the procedure, your spine had to be replaced as well. Your torso can no longer be crippled, so both our head and torso can no longer be crippled. Our strength and damage result have both been increased by 1. Sick. These are positive buffs. We'll take them.
spine. Totally overrated, that arrangement of vertebrae. Look at me, with my lumbar and thoracic curvature. Never had a use for any of that. Spineless is what I prefer.
Says the brains in robots, right? You know, obviously they don't even care about bodies and stuff. So you took out my brain, my heart, and my spine?
That autodoc junk heap was one of Mobius's creations, like the rest of the talking scrap metal in the attic.
After that, the brain lost itself. Not in the metaphysical sense. Might have gotten flushed into one of the pipes. Actually, that's pretty
You
likely.
just got rid of my brain.
If so,
Thanks,
it
guys.
was flushed all the way to Mobius. Flush. That is the sound of flushing. By the Fisher of Rolando, enough of this biological surgery talk. Lobotomite, listen to my voice. It denominates me to ask, but we need your help. In most probable of probabilities, our enemy, Mobius, has your brain. This is not good. He will most likely come after our brains next. We want you to stop him, somehow, with science.
With science! You said something about needing technologies to stop Mobius, though?
Yes. It is our only chance, a desperate plan that came to us after Mobius's first broadcast. Maybe, just maybe, if we reclaim these buried technologies, we can put an end to Mobius and the horrors spawning from the Forbidden Zone.
With an intelligence 6, we could say, what exactly is the plan? You're losing me in the generalities and these specifics. They don't actually know the specifics. The thing about all these scientists is that, like, their brains aren't thinking very well. For them being geniuses, like the best scientists in their given fields, right? You obviously have, you know, 8, who's good at sound waves. Klein here being the lead scientist is probably even the dumbest motherfucker out of all of them. But I can help with my intelligence skill.
The plan is very complicated. We are still calculating how it would work if it succeeded. That is our part of the plan.
Why me? Can't you guys do anything? Super smart scientist, robot, people, brain things?
No.
No, why not?
You are equipped to retrieve the technologies with your primitive form. We are not.
It's kind of embarrassing. You have hands, and a heartbeat, sort of, and eyes, mostly the hands. There's door handles and lockers and...
Enough! We need your help. Will you help us?
Sure, I'll help. What do you need me to do?
Excellent. This is turning out much better than the activate the retreat protocols and cower in my room idea I had earlier.
Cowards.
Agreed. Oh, and I've used my robotical knowledge to, transmit the radio map waves to... Settle down, 8. I would have gotten it in a second, all right? 8's transmitted the last known coordinates of the research centers. They, well, move sometimes. Or get buried. Or blow up.
1080 XP.
8 is correct. All we need are the schematics. This does not mean we do not want the cold hard technology, however. So do not give in to your biological tired laziness and decide you would sweat too much carrying them. You have a new spine. Use it. And even if you die in the act of reclamation, simply reaching them will auto-transmitify the schematics to us. That is still good. For us.
Whole bunch of quests added there. There's 3 things they need. This whole place sounds dangerous. These devices sound dangerous. Everything sounds nasty. You're talking about me dying. I don't want to die.
Nonsense. This place is no more dangerous than a nuclear detonation site. Our technology is no more lethal than an overcharged Tesla cannon. The technologies are the X2 transmitter antenna array, used to focus coherent thought at excessively high frequencies.
The psychoanalytic, cardiac dampening, sneaky stealth suit. A suit like nothing this world has ever heard, seen, or could ever see.
And 8's sonic sound wave emitter projectile gun, able to broadcast sound at lethal frequencies. It also gives a great biogel massage.
There. We have informed you of all we need. We estimate if you are focused, your time investment will be minimal, by our standards. If you work quickly, you will be the recipient of a gesture of gratitude from us. We do not bestow these old-world gestures lightly.
Trust me. What if I take my time and explore the crater, though?
What illogic is this? Keep your filthy, penis-tipped feet out of our labs and secrets.
There are things here no lobotomite was meant to see. Things that would astound and possibly terrify. Terrify!
Yeah, we don't come into your lab and decant your solutions.
Only the magnificence of our monitors allow for true comprehension of the wonders of Big Mountain. Shield your jellied eyes lest they burn from your skull.
Holy shit. Doesn't sound like my style. Maybe I'll do a little exploring. This is funny. I love giving this dialogue option because I'm going to explore most of Big Mountain. I love this fucking place. This is really, every location has something significant and important to get. So we're going to do some exploring.
You would not dare. Perhaps I can change your mind using the greatest of our sciences, the fence. The radar fence that surrounds the Big Mountain crater will protect you from straying beyond the facility.
The mighty radar fence protects us all. Get too close to the blinking posts, and the proximity warning shall be your warning. You are too close.
If you get near it, your vision will blur as the electrodes in your head shut off one by one. Click, click, click.
Possible memory loss will occur, along with long-term nerve degradation. It is tied to not having a brain attached to your nervous system. But the nerve degradation is nothing to worry about. Such degradation would take many lifespans to become evident, and all biology dies. Such tiny inconveniences are less than the greater convenience and conveyance. You see, if rendered unconscious by the pylons, you will be returned to the sink, seemingly instantaneously by your deadened perceptions.
So, you're really all you're saying is the big giant pylons around the whole area. I can't leave.
Oh. Dr. Klein? Dr. Klein? If I may intersect for a moment.
What is it? The lobotomite is asking me things, and I'm trying to ignore them. My processors can't ignore you both at the same time.
Well, you know how we asked it to fetch the sonic emitter thing? Turns out we already have it. What are the odds?
What is this, a high school science fair? Get your act together. You're making us look like a collection of round earthers.
You're always yelling. My receptors can't take it anymore. And neither can my feelings.
Whoa.
I am yelling because you contaminated specimens can't keep your probes off the volume knob on my voice module.
For the love of please stop fighting.
It is truly the end of all intelligence when the lobotomite speaks more wisdom than you geniuses. So, if we have the sound wave, sonic projecto thing gun, then what in Heisenberg's name do we need from X8? Anyone?
I believe we need a new frequency embedded into the gun. It was designed to broadcast many sounds once charged. We just don't know the frequency.
And it is lost in X8, just as X8 is forever lost to us. The sadness of my high school days, the sadness of my youth lost.
Oh, really, Boros? All you did in high school was Tommy Fink Tattletale and all the kids you hated. You little teacher's pet brown hound.
Give the lobotomite the emitter. Does it have an audio effect frequency loaded?
Oh, I don't think so. Wait.
What is he doing?
I think he's sonjaculating into the gun. Getting it warmed up.
Sonjaculating is a hell of a word. It just sounds gross.
Ding. Turkey's done.
You give it to the lobotomite. I'm not touching that thing.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll do it if you two are going to be ashamed of your own technological needs. Let me give it a little sonic sterilization first.
Such a silly DLC,
All right.
man.
All antibacterial fresh. Here, my little teddy bear. I've thoroughly removed all Robco terminate code spew from the device. It is clean, shiny, and ready for your hands.
So, we got the sonic emitter, which is a very important gun that we're going to need for this. Obviously, like I said when I mentioned last episode, before we even came to the Old Blues DLC, we're going to get some cool energy weapon stuff. We have energy weapons at 50. Energy cells have a high expenditure rate. Some extra reserve cells could help offset that.
Yes, I believe Watt's Electronics tended to make the battery shelf life on the low end.
They certainly did. Batteries for my vivisectors would always come up short right before climax.
I think Watts manufactured holodiscs. Or was it holotapes? Never can keep those two straight. Anyway, we're out of small energy cells. Dala? You have some? Why do we... Actually, never mind. I don't even want to know. And no, I don't want to handle your batteries. Just pass them on to the lobotomite yourself.
Sick. So if we have guns, you can ask for a gun, but I don't need a gun. That's cool. We got all kinds of overcharge ammo, all kinds of dope shit. This should be enough.
Careful where you're pointing that. That device wasn't always a weapon. It was more like a force field kind of thing. Once.
Force fields prevent us from moving forward or backward.
They are irritating.
They sure are. Fuck force
The
fields.
sonic emitter was specially designed to disable our own safety fields here in Big Mountain. When some of us lost our access passes, Dr. O.
That only happened once. And I know you were behind stealth fielding my lab keys, Dala. You formographer.
Dr. O, you rewind that comment.
Plenty of rewinding already going on in your formography tapes. Surprised that things don't snap out of their cases with repeated observations.
Wait, so this gun you gave me can disable force fields? Like, my character's not paying at all, right? Like,
Yes. Maybe. Well, no, not currently.
Yeah, we lost that part of the schematics. Or Boros did. In one of his stupid labs. Or inside one of his stupid pets.
It is lost. All questions lead to this conclusion. The blue fields within Big Mountain shall be fielded with force. Forever.
I could care less about any of all this. Okay, can I go? Like, I got the quest. I'll find the force field breaking part of the gun anyway.
Fine, so, yes. Get these things for us. Do not attempt to comprehend their complicated schematics. That is for us to do.
Okay, I'll be sure not to tamper with anything. I promise. And I even give a little wink, because why not?
Well, good. What are the token words spoken in this case? Thank you? Yes. Thank you.
Wait, is it leaving? But, Dr. Klein, the lobotomite will need rest, recuperation, things like that. I volunteer my chambers, so it might be stared at. My monitor radar is slowly scanning its form to collect sensitive data.
No thanks?
No, that would put it too close to us. It could press buttons, turn lights on and off, and worse, let other lobotomites in.
We can give it Mobius's old room. That's where its brain got scooped out anyway. And plus some of its parts are already there. Might be more comforting for it to hang out with its spine and heart. Home is where the heart is, after all. See what I did there? Went literal.
Literally went literal.
I suppose. We'll have to move that couch out of there. Been putting that off too long.
H says, let the lobotomite take the Sync Central Intelligence personality chip and reinstall it. That stuffy Mobius program butler can walk the lobotomite, feed it, barter with it for us.
It would also prevent it from going to Higgs Village and taking up residence there. With my teddy bears. And it would be nice to
We're
have
going
it
to Higgs
so
Village. We'll just call
close.
that.
Your logic, combined with my desire to keep the think tank lobotomite free, has swayed me. Here, I present the Sync Central Intelligence. Lobotomite, take this chip to the sink, plug it in, and make sure the chip is clean, or it could skip. Then make whatever crude biologic demands you need of the sink. It will cater to most of your hormonal whims.
With an intelligence of 8, this chip looks like it was mass-produced. Are there other chips?
Are there other chips?
Are you echoing what he said, or are you asking for real?
He's asking, yes. Dr. Klein, there are many other personalities. If you recall, you hurled them off the sink balcony after your argument with Mobius.
It is not an argument if one is clearly right and the other is clearly wrong. I remember now. Yes, lobotomite. There are other chips. If you want, find them. I believe they're stored on holotapes in many of our facilities. But you should stay out of those. No exploring and discovering things. The Sync Central Intelligence should be enough for your needs.
Okay, so, you know, just plug it into the circular map thing in the sink upstairs then?
Yes, you may need to wiggle it in a bit, but don't force it. We can't recode them if you break it. There is no more we can do to aid you, and our patience levels are depleted. Now go. Rest in the sink if you must, but leave us to our research.
If you're done, can we move again? My biogel's starting to crampagulate.
Of course! Go man your science stations! Go! I'm surrounded by children.
Okay, got through all that. Like I said, it's like a long little section here of just literally talking and getting an introduction here. We do have a new weapon already off rip, like I said. We do have the thing that they gave us, the sonic emitter, which is revelation here. Does require energy weapons of 50. It does damage of 38 with a DPS of 34. It's not particularly great. We can't even equip it. We can't even pull it out. We can't even change the ammunition right now because we technically have, for one thing, we have some crates here with some duct tape and some lobotomite goggles. If we want to wear the lobotomite goggles and give ourselves an intelligence -2, we have some scientists to talk to here, though. We can get our own little introduction. This is Dr. Boris. He specializes in animals.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
Yeah, he made cyber dogs, robot dogs. We're gonna get to that as we do. Picking your brains. Quest added. Animal, did you just call me an animal?
Yes, animal. Hormones, pores, glands, all wrapped up in skin. Who knows what terrifying secrets lie beneath your epidermis? Scalpels shall tell us your secrets, even if we must cut deep for such knowledge. I was head of my biology class at American High, you know.
Who are you and what do you do here?
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
So, he's responsible for cazadors. He made cazadors. He does DNA splicing here in Big Mountain. We haven't actually ran into a night stalker, the coyote snake things, but you're responsible for cazadors?
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation.
Contained in Big Mountain? Those things are all over the Mojave. Like, they got out.
No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding.
I don't think they're sterile. They breed, right? We literally just saw, eggs, nests.
I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts.
I do not need to be castrated. To be fair, this is the answer. Go ahead. You might make me more fertile or impregnate me. Because clearly, you're fucking doing science wrong. That's the thing about this whole DLC, is that they're doing science, but they're doing it wrong. They fucking get up. They're doing a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. Okay? Because you make cazadors, big fucking murder bugs of all nasty shit. But they're like, oh no, they're sterile. They can't breed, so they're kind of contained here. Everything's fine. They're not fine. They're not sterile. They get up. They murder people.
Impregnate you? What? Do you want to make me vomit inside my tank? The mere notion makes the edges of my biomed gel crystallize into asymmetrical patterns.
You don't seem to have a grasp on your own research.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try.
So, we can learn some backstory stuff, and we're going to learn the backstory stuff here. Scientists here are real dumb. Dr. Boris is real dumb. Alright, when did you create cazadors?
In 2000, let's see, carry the 3, then count backwards from the Great Static, or beyond, there were the tarantula debates, and something about hawks, which made it around 2003, May, Tuesday. It was definitely Tuesday. Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. There are more important things to worry about than data and facts.
Yeah, just don't care about the facts. Okay. Tell me more about Mobius in the Forbidden Zone, then.
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying Robo-Scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed.
I think we're good for now.
Until next time, then. Provided there is a next time.
There's more
For
exposition
any
you
of
can get from
us.
all the characters and stuff. We're just trying to get the main backstory. There's another crate here, though. What do you got in your little footlocker? Microfusion cells? Certainly. You have the +1 strength now. 200 carry weight. Sick. Very cool. Central modules. Scrap electronics. Lots of cool things. More microfusion cells. Wonderful. This is Dr. 8. Dr. 8, obviously, as you remember, is the doctor that can't talk. Can you speak? Do you understand me? Did something happen with your voice module? You better not be cussing me out right now. Is that a yes or a no or a yes no? I'm pretty sure you can understand me and I want some answers. Who are you? This is Dr. 8, double circle, right? Is it 8, right? A dash, whoever. Do you know anything about Dr. Mobius of the Forbidden Zone? He's very sketched out. Alright, calm down. Didn't mean to alarm you. You're fine. Everything's fine, Dr. 8. Can you tell me about the technologies? You sound agitated, or you're percolating, or something. Alright. Tell me about the Big Empty? Well, easy there, whatever you are, brain jar thing. So, after going through all this stuff with the perception of 7 or science of 75, so we could wait, after listening a bit, that's Robco Terminal Link protocols you're broadcasting, right? Like, essentially, how do you know that? I've hacked enough Robco terminals to know. Nice pun there on the header file reference, apparently. I don't mean, whatever. We'll take our character's word for it. I agree. If someone would take the time, you're more than just put sound effects in a tank. With the science of 75 again, if a Robco if that's a Robco Termalink protocol, doesn't that mean it could be hacked? It'll only take a second to violate your rights and make your voice mine. If that's Termalink code, don't worry. I'm not going to take advantage of your exposed code. I'm not going to be mean. It's a nice thing. Gained karma for that. On the same wavelength, quest complete. Already completing quest. Look at me go. Not a problem. I know what it's like to be experimented on. You all motherfuckers literally took my brain, my spine, and my heart. So, when I first arrived, tell me you didn't sonjaculate into my sonic emitter? Nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just best to keep that kind of stuff private, Now that we know each other better, can you tell me about the sonic emitter? Obviously, Doctor with sounds. It's like an eagle noise in there. Really, huh? Just pretend to know what's going on. I have no clue. My character does, because they're intelligent. I am not. Higgs Village, huh? Can you point us out to me on my Pip-Boy? Map marker added. Like I said, we are going to Higgs Village. It's important. So your house is there? All their houses are there? That's where they lived when they were people? So there's a emitter code in your house in Higgs? Yes, is the answer, essentially. Oh, 2 codes. One for the jukebox and one for the opera. Nice. I'll keep an eye out. Okay, I'll be going now. See you later, Dr. 8, who I did not take advantage of, completed their quest. We'll get to Dr. Klein in a little bit, obviously lead doctor. We got a couple more to go through. I know, like I said, I've warned you guys. A lot of talking this episode. Dr. Dalla.
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank. Fearless and proud as a teddy bear.
She's kind of obsessed with teddy bears.
Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us.
You guys are pretty much harmless,
Yet
though.
you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination.
So we're going to say some words for her. Dr. Dalla is in charge of people science, I guess, of some kind. Biology, probably. Right? Like the science of the human body, right? I would say, right? Like anatomy, I guess, then. Because she's the one who cut us open. And then she took out her brain and then was like, oh man, I gotta get you other things. And she wants to speak because she's kind of obsessed with the human body moving. She doesn't have a body anymore. So I'm going to say the quick scribe jumped over the lazy paladin.
Yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's mouthal cavity.
I don't have perception of 8 right now. That sucks. So we can't do anything about this right now. But who are you and what do you do here?
Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and advanced curiosity. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science.
What's formography?
It's excessive examination of the human form to achieve psychological arousal. Disgusting. I would never succumb to such base appetites.
Clearly she has.
Distractions. Filthy, filthy distractions.
211 doctorates? How is that even possible?
Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned.
First head chief researcher? That's a lot of titles.
What is a
One
name
title.
without a title or suffix for the sake of hierarchy? It is a long-standing quantification of personality and importance. We could not do without it. Surely you must be aware of the gravity of such attached appellations, just as surely as you must have a title.
I'm sometimes called a courier,
Oh, a mailman. A delivery man.
lady.
Someone who takes parcels from place to place using their primitive feet or similar conveyance.
Kinda.
You are the second one I've met in recent times. Very different specimens.
There was another courier?
Of course. You must have met others in your travels. This one had met other couriers too, although it sounded as if he hadn't met the correct one. He asked us all many questions, and then he asked a most perplexing one. We had to segment the event out of our memories for safety.
So, they're obviously not going to remember. The other courier that showed up here literally asked them a question that fucking blew their fucking little brain in a jar heads so much that they deleted their memories of it.
I do not know, nor should we try to access it. Perhaps Klein has the logs. My evaluation would be to let your own curiosity go. I do not think that Klein remembers the conversation as being satisfactory.
The way this DLC sets up Lonesome Road, which is the best DLC, he came and went quest at it. We're just getting all the quests, just from talking. How did you remove my brain and how?
Oh, removing it is a simple procedure. Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip, done.
Not very pleasant at all.
The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. Lobotomites.
I'm essentially a janitor
With
now.
you, however,
Janitor, man.
something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized. I am relieved the pacification field is working. If it didn't, I would broadcast some concern to my colleagues about safety protocols.
But how am I still talking and walking around if I have no brain?
That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart. If you were to somehow find your brain, wherever it slurped off to, you could
Slurped is a hell of a word.
reduce yourself again.
Okay. I feel strange in here, peaceful, but on edge.
It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here.
So, is it if then it would shut it off if I had a brain, essentially?
Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us, again and again. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors and gently lobotomizing you from behind. Not something I would relish doing.
She might actually relish it.
No, the only way to circumvent the field is to have a brain. And we extracted that like we do all lobotomites here.
Okay, I've had other questions.
Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of verbal intercourse.
Sure, I don't have perception to 8. I wish I did. Can you tell me about Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius. A monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all.
Sure, we can go with that for now. We've spoken enough.
Until our next interaction.
I don't have the
my
perception
intriguing
to
little lobotomite.
do more with Dala. We have more scientists to talk to, though. 2 more, even. It's a long... Hey, Mentats! Dr. O!
I don't understand how you can stand those leg things.
Well, I just stand with them. Haha.
Breaking news. Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose, unknown. Undefinable. Its presence here, impossible.
Impossible, impossible. You're Dr. O, correct?
Oh? Oh, yes. I'm not going to bother correcting you. At least you got the doctor part correct.
Not
I
Dr.
can be
O.
grateful for that, at least. Stop the presses. Just in from my eye monitors. Is that Robco tech on your arm? It is. What's your agenda bringing that in here?
Yeah, it's my Pip-Boy, made by Robco. He doesn't like Robco. Dr. We'll call him O for now. Is the robotics guy. Makes robots. What, my Pip-Boy?
How dare you bring Robco tech in here? What are you showing off? How great Robert House and his big company are?
Ooh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain could make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Ugh. Damn Robco.
Doesn't really like Robco or Mr. House, because Mr. House is better than him, better at building robots. Calm down, I just wanted to ask some questions.
Fine. Ask.
What do you do here?
All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it. See a broken robot? I made it that way. Deconstructed it down to parts. I have a gift with machines. I can render anything inoperable. Preserve them in a non-functioning state.
Seems not like a hard job to break robots. That doesn't sound impressive. Breaking machines, that is.
Who asked you? You just wait until a working machine threatens you, and you'll wish I was around.
If we had barter, we could talk about barter functions. Do you have another name, though, Dr. O?
Yeah, I do. It wasn't always O. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept a mistake as long as the purpose works. I don't want to get into it. It's a sore topic with me. Makes my gel ripple.
With a speech of 65? Are you sure? I'm a good listener. Got the ears for it.
Great. Psychology. Clearly the worst of the sciences, right after colostodiuretics. Okay, so my name is an O. Never was. It was circular, a single character, digit, but not O. But even with enhanced sensors, no one here could get it right. Always kept seeing the letter, not the number.
So with an intelligence of 7, we could say, if confusing the letter with a number, your name is Dr. Zero?
Yes, thank you. Zero. I am zero. How hard is that? A narrow, thin zero.
Alright, so you want me to call you Zero, or...?
Zero's my name. I'm proud of it, all right? It doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Truth be told, my emotional attachment to it doesn't even register compared to just having people recognize the difference. It's just that they're both sort of round and hollow, so when they monitor scan them, they assume that, oh, it's O. Vivisect me, please.
With an intelligence of 9, which thankfully have, hey, we gotta level up already, just from talking to people. Or robots. They're people. They're robot brains in jars. With intelligence of 9, though, if you wanted to differentiate O and 0, just put a slash through the 0.
What?
0, draw a slash through it.
Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? That's brilliant. I mean, I would have come to the same conclusion. Eventually. Oh, who am I deceiving? I never would have figured that out. I can't figure anything out. I'm useless.
And that's what truly makes you a 0. Is kind of, so is this what you want to be? Is a nicer way? It would be nice.
Exactly. At least the old name was indisputable. O is more like surprise. Oh, look what I stepped in.
Well, there is power in 0. It reduces anything multiplied it to 0.
Well, of course it does. That's the most lethal of mathematics. That's pretty cool, actually. Destroyer of numbers. I already wreck every robot I study. Why not basic arithmetic? I like your solution. With that kind of slash in the middle, I can set myself apart. If I wanted to. They make a 0 in all the think tank. They won't be able to escape it. That diagonal slash right down the middle. Thanks. Talking to you, it really helped unclog some frustration. Talking. What a primitive form of thought kicking.
They don't even talk anymore, right? Like, so Zero, got any amazing discoveries to share?
You know, hearing my name said like that, it really de-resses my screens. As for discoveries, well, of course. Look at us. Just, built it. Amazing, isn't it?
2 scrap electronics. It certainly is, interesting, whatever it once was.
You know what? I'm not even gonna pretend. I broke one of the monitors, and those innards start falling out everywhere. If you could just hold on to that for me until, well, forever, that would be welcome.
Tell me about Mobius and these monsters of his.
That genius Mobius somehow cobbled together these really impressive-looking robot scorpions with spare parts. Even painted them. Tried to see what makes them tick. Can't even examine them without them detonating all over me. Left with shrapnel and burns. Every time. Supposedly, he has even larger models, even a giant robot scorpion hidden deep within the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, right. Giant monsters, sure.
Yeah, there is a giant robot scorpion.
Yeah, crazy, right? Something right out of a midnight science fiction feature.
We'll deal with that when we get to it.
Ridiculous. What are the odds?
Okay. We're good.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception, then.
Okay. Are we at? Oh, fuck, I forgot. We gotta level up. Want to get that medicine skill up a little bit more, just to say we did. Not that it's gonna be too helpful. We do want to get those energy weapons on the rise as well. Some sneak points wouldn't be awful. We're gonna need to sneak here. Some speech score would also be pretty good. Trying to think. I think the repair would be alright. Fuck, dude. So many things. We'll put it in a sneak. Be a little sneakier. We'll work with that for now. Still in our goddamn robe. Did we get our clothes back? We did. Put the fucking clothes back on. Thank God. Okay? And I got actual clothes on. They have scientist scrubs here as well. More scrap electronics. We'll deal with all that later. Dr. Klein, the last lead doctor.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
With the science of 70, I'd be honored to hear any knowledge the Think Tank has to share on the sciences.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
What do you fucking do then, Dr. Klein? I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, but we will pick this conversation back up in just a little bit. Alright, I'm back. I know, as the scientist here would say, urination, what a, disgusting bodily function. I cannot believe you have to get rid of waste through your holes. Stuff. I heard one of the previous visitors to the dome spoke to you, asked you some questions. It was a courier.
Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left with some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh, well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
So, I'm going to complete that quest too. For just talking about he came and went. He didn't get lobotomized, the other courier, and he left with information. You seem like the one in charge. You are...
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
Who is Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
With a science of 25. These mechanical robo-scorpions, I mean, I guess we should do medicine at 50, really, though, because the higher the skill check, the more experience points you get for it. With the medicine at 50, robo-scorpions drain intelligence from living creatures? How? Kim's?
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
There's our experience points for that. I don't think we have any more questions for now. We've done a lot of talking this episode. We are going to finally move on. We're going to start heading out actually into Big Mountain. Not even this episode. This episode has literally just been this. But we are going to go into the sink. I always got to double check those doors when I do this. We obviously, have some vending machines here. Sunset Sarsaparilla. We still drank it out here in this. We have a workbench here. Ammunition, energy varieties, a reloading bench. There's a book chute here. All of these, they talk about these. There's a jukebox, personality files. There's a picture of the bomb because there's the personality files for the toaster. There's some mint tats here. They're free. There's more up here. Or fancy that snack cake's in there. Is the Foot Locker here? Anything in there? Hey, bullets. I don't really care about bullets, but they're there. There's a couch. They probably didn't remove. There's a little safe here that's a storage. I like to store my stuff in there if I do store stuff. Hey, a Runaway Rebound. We got some little things. We can also store things in the trunk. There's a pre-war book. Foot Locker. Some caps. Not really anything too important here. Just a few caps. Drained energy cells. There's Muggy here. He doesn't have a personality right now. There's a bed we could sleep in. There's the Securitron prototype. Or like blueprints, I guess, right? Microfusion cells. Sick. Pencil. Mad Scientist Scrubs is a unique item in the game. I believe, anyway. We're going to need some of that glue. There's also light switches here. Light switches also have personality files we don't quite have yet. A lot of things on the go. Right? There's this biological research station which plants seeds. We're going to get all of the tapes, I believe. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't. All kinds of food and stuff in here. We'll worry about that later. Let's insert this tape. We got to remember we got to jiggle it, but not too much because if we break it, it's bad. Sonic Criminal Revelation now available in the vendor interface.
Salutations and felicitations, sir, and a most jocund welcome to the sink. I am your electronic valet and household central processor. May I be of service, sir?
Sir, are you aware that I'm a woman, right?
Indubitably, sir, but it is with a great lugubriousness that I must disclose that my programmers installed only the masculine honorific, sir. Moreover, they neglected to enclose a parameter by which said honorific might be omitted altogether. Over my most strenuous of remonstrances, sir.
So, programmed to say sir, has to say sir, can't not say sir, sucks to suck. They're not very smart scientists in terms of their programming. Are you some kind of artificial intelligence?
Regrettably not, sir. All modules in this habitat are synthetic personalities atop a mundane operating system. There is no intelligence here, sir.
You mean there are other personality modules here?
Indeed, sir. Though if Sir's aim is to activate them, I lament to inform Sir that most have been offline for some years. If Sir were to ask my opinion, I should venture that Sir is better off without them. However, if Sir is determined to inflict upon Sir's self their dubious services, Sir might locate backup personality disks elsewhere in the facility.
Why is that? Why shouldn't I activate them?
The other modules are rather erratic, Sir. Their personality matrices are built on flawed logic and have not weathered the years well, Sir.
So I can access their functions without loading the personality holotapes? Personality holotapes?
Tragically, the core operating systems are also located on the personality tapes, Sir. Once the tape is installed, Sir may request I switch their dialectic interfaces off, and I shall oblige with great delectation. However, Sir will still be required to locate and install a backup holotape to access their functionality.
So, we can access a bunch of cool features of all these things, but we need to find the personality tapes because the operating system for the particular services here, the seating and the stuff that we talked about a little bit, the light switch is fucking even. But we can turn the personalities off. I don't want to, though. They are erratic, but that's part of the charm of the DLC. Why are there so many personality modules?
As I am given to understand, Sir, this facility was once the property of a Dr. Mobius. He crafted the personality modules as part of a collection of experiments on the subject of machine-human interface. As to the reason for the unusual choices of devices to receive the modules, I cannot say.
Alright, never mind. Let me ask you something else.
Indubitably, sir.
A little robot butler. What services do you provide?
In addition to managing the personality matrices of the other household utilities, I can provide Sir with direct access to the commissary. Any goods Sir might require may be purchased through my shopkeep interface, whence tiny robots shall deliver them forthwith to this very domicile.
Okay, I'd like to buy some things.
Very good, sir. Should Sir be in the market for a new suit of morning wear, I have several suggestions that might suit.
Little robot butler. It's very cool. So we could buy the sonic emitter gun we already have. We could buy the scientist glove, really cool unarmed weapon, and a shovel. Patient got the leather armor we could use to repair armor at least. I think the patient gown would work too because of the jury rigging perk. We can buy some healing items if we need them. They do have misc. No, they have ammo. Bullets, bullets, bullets. Look at all the bullets. Do you have energy ammo? Like the ones that say E? Nails. Microfusion cells. A few microfusion cells. We're not concerned about ammo at all, I think you promise. Okay, cool. So,
A most rapturous good morrow on your return to your domicile, sir. I trust you shall find things in order and the riff-raff contained.
thank you for all this, okay? We're doing just fine, okay? We're going to convert our energy... Well, we actually need energy cells now, to a certain degree. And the microfusion cells still for the laser rifles. But energy cells are what we are using for this particular gun we have now. So... optimize those too. Like, look how many fucking things we have to do. Anyway, we're pretty much done with this episode. I know, like, it's like the longest episode ever to exist in terms of just like, it's probably a really long one as it is anyway. But we have this gun. We can actually look at the gun now. Max charge, overcharge, optimize. We can shoot this little laser beam of doom, or really shoot sonic waves, the sonic emitter of things, as they say. But we can head out here into the balcony. Please don't crash the game again. The balcony seems to really crash the game. But yeah, we're going to head out there. I'm coming back in the thing. So I'm terrified of the crash that we already had in the very beginning of the episode. We can go back out this way. And we're going to do so next time. We're in the Old World Blues DLC. There's so many things to see, so many things to do, so many technologies and science to put at our disposal. We obviously, as you look here, if we go into our quest log, find all the personalities, figure out what's going on with Dala maybe eventually. Higgs Village stuff, Sonic Emitter upgrade, all the little parts they need to fight off Mobius as it is anyway. Lots of fucking things to do. We're going to be in this DLC for hopefully a number of episodes. Good, because it's great. And I'm going to have a good time doing it. If you guys have enjoyed, I know this long, drawn out, lots of conversation episode of Fallout New Vegas, please leave that like rating down below, especially if you made it this far to the end. If you guys have thoughts, let me know who your favorite Old World Blues scientist is in the think tank down in the comment section down below. I'd appreciate that. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe so we can check more videos from me. And pretty much other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever it may be, and I will see you in the next episode.